Hi, today is July 30th, 2023, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 1225 for the year, The Back Fence. Yesterday evening, I passed by the northwest corner of Thompson and Bleecker. There used to be a bar there called The Back Fence. They used to have poetry readings there back in the 80s. They'd have an open reading and a featured poet on Sundays. The Back Fence was the third open reading that I ever read poetry at. I don't remember what I read, but I do remember Brigid, who ran the reading, coming up to me right after I was done and asking if I wanted to be featured there. I was nervous, but I said yes. I mean, that's why I was going to these readings. I was hoping I would get featured. So this was going to be my first featured reading, and I was excited. But then I was like, 20 minutes of me reading poetry? That could get old very fast. So I asked one of my favorite songwriters, Tunney, also known as Dogbowl, if he would write some music to some of my poems and play guitar for a part of my reading while I read. And that happened. And I think of that as the first King Missile Dogfly Religion performance, even though we didn't have that name yet. The next King Missile Dogfly Religion performance is less than 2 months away. I am starting to become excited. Poem number 1226, Not the Back Fence. On the northwest corner of Thompson and Bleecker, there used to be a bar called The Back Fence. I did my first featured poetry reading there, but now it's not The Back Fence. Now it's nothing. Whatever it was has been closed for quite some time. I took a picture of the inside of Not the Back Fence. I was wondering whether I would feel anything and whether memories would come back. And memories came back, and I did feel something. I felt like I wished Brigid was going to have an open reading there today. If that was happening, I would sign up to read. I wouldn't read this one or the last one, but maybe I'd read the next one. It would depend on how the next one turns out. Poem number 1227. On the other side of the window. On the other side of the window, I can see it, I can sense it, I can almost feel it. On the other side of the window, I want to touch it, I want to taste it, I want to breathe it in. On the other side of the window, I wonder whether it's colder, I wonder whether it's warmer. On the other side of the window, I want to be there, or for you to be here. On the other side of the window, I want us both to be inside each other. On the other side of the window, I'm frozen and melting and burning and bursting and thirsty and hungry and hoping that on the other side of the window you are too. Poem number 1228, Bang or Bounce. Whether it was a bang or bounce is maybe of little consequence, but it would be nice to know, or at least to know whether or not it can be known. 13.7 billion years ago seems like a lot, but compared to infinite time, it's a blink of an eye. It's hard to believe that there was just nothingness or barely somethingness before that. According to the Big Bounce theory, before the bang, there was a collapsing of the previous universe, a crunch, and then a bang, bounce. It sounds like what my limited understanding of Hindu cosmology was when I first encountered it nearly 50 years ago. It felt right to me then. It feels right now. I don't know whether this can ever be known, but I think it's fun to think about. Poem number 1229, X. I just saw that X is playing at the end of the month. I've never seen X. Do I want to see X? I feel like I should go. It's the 4 original members. It's kind of like how the 4 original members of King Missile Dogfly Religion are playing at the end of the month after next. Of course, it's a safe bet that no one in X is going to see King Missile Dogfly Religion. If I had a girlfriend who really wanted to see X, then I would really want to see X, but that is not a problem that I currently have. And it's not like I would magically have a girlfriend if I were to purchase 2 tickets to X. It's simply not that simple. Poem number 1230, Fly. A fly flew too close to a light bulb. I named the fly Icarus, posthumously. And the last poem of the day, poem number 1231, Another X. The Met is premiering an opera next season called The Life and Times of Malcolm X. I'd be more inclined to see that X than the X that is playing next month. And the Met's cheapest seats are cheaper than it would be to see X. New York City is the capital of FOMO once again, and I am burdened and conflicted and afraid, but in a good way, because deep down I believe that whether I see one X or the other, or both, or neither, I will be happy. That's all. Thank you. I appreciate you. I do. Should I go see X?